game. Michigan does not.
Absolutely. And then Illinois wins by like 50 over like Kansas.
No, they beat Michigan in a bowl game.
Sure.
No, because then there'd be that one loss.
There would be that one loss, so that makes it a problem. But you see what I'm getting at.
I do. Fuck Michigan, basically.
Well,
right?
obviously.
Yeah.
They're not even a real school.
No. I mean, they got to go play in Rome. The country doesn't even have football teams.
Oh, we have the biggest stadium in the world. That's adorable. Or, I'm sorry, the U.S. They have the highest capacity stadium in the U.S. I don't think it's the biggest in the world. I think that
Wembley is like...
Yeah, British soccer team or something.
Yeah. Insane. But, so the Big Ten divided into two conferences. The Big Ten East and the Little Ten, a.k.a. the West.
Yeah, the Big Ten, like, D1, Big Ten, D2. That's
West,
not true. I mean, they gave them Wisconsin.
Well, Northwestern wasn't bad. They were 10-3. So Wisconsin wins the Big Ten West, 9-0 in conference, not including the championship game. 13-1 in the regular season. Northwestern 7-2 in conference, 10-3 overall. Iowa 4-5 in conference, 8-5 overall. Purdue also 4-5 in conference, 7-6 overall. Minnesota 2-7 in conference, 5-7 overall. Nebraska 3-6 in conference, 4-8 overall. Man, was I wrong.
About what?
Last year, remember I was like, yeah, Nebraska's going to be decent. They'll get good around game 4, and then they'll suck around game 9. They just sucked all year.
I actually think that your prediction was just 1 year too early. I think under Scott Frost, we're going to see the turnaround in Nebraska, and they may get back to what they used to be.
Well, they got some really good wide receivers. Quarterback play is suspect, but...
Yeah, but gives Frost some time to get some people in there, and... I mean, first of all, he's going to change the culture in Nebraska, because obviously Nebraska...
They haven't had a culture since Bo Pelini.
Yeah, but Nebraska used to have that, like, heritage, you know what I mean? That prestige, that like, history.
I mean, even as recent as Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, but Nebraska has had this history. It's not like they've always been in the cellar of college football. They're not in Rutgers.
No, they're a powerhouse.
Right, and Nebraska deserves to be that powerhouse again. And Scott Frost seems like the kind of person that will change the mentality in there and bring Nebraska back to where they should have been.
What
they've been striving for years and falling short.
Which I say this all the time. A strong Nebraska, a strong Michigan, a strong Iowa is good for the Big Ten. It just is. As much as I hate to admit it, and I hate Michigan, all those teams being good is good for the Big Ten.
Yes.
As long as Ohio State is good, Penn State is good, Wisconsin is good, even Minnesota.
I'm going to be... in my opinion, here's what you need for the Big Ten to be solid every year and probably get the respect it deserves. You need a strong Big Ten, Penn State, Ohio State, Nebraska, Michigan State, Wisconsin. The other ones can fall where they may.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the teams you really need. I mean, ideally, you need somebody step up once in a while to fill in the other shoe on the other side of the Big Ten. Whether that
Minnesota,
be Northwestern,
Iowa.
Yeah, Northwestern, Minnesota, Iowa. That can be ever-changing as far as I'm concerned. But you need... I mean, even Illinois. You'd think Lovie Smith would be doing better.
Illinois hasn't had a decent player since Juice Smith.
Well, then it tells you exactly...
I'm sorry, Juice Williams.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Barely. To people in Illinois, it matters.
It does. You're right.
Yeah, I guess.
Big Ten East, however, is where the real show is. You've got Ohio State, 8-1 in conference, 12-2 overall. Penn State, 7-2 in conference, 11-2 overall. Michigan State, 7-2 in conference, 10-3 overall. Michigan, 5-4 in conference, 8-5 overall. And yet, these dipshits keep predicting Michigan to be the winner of the Big Ten.
You're dumb. You're so dumb.
Who do you... Like, I know we're going to get to this in a minute, but who do you think is going to win the Big Ten?
You want an answer?
Yeah, give me your answer. Yes.
You know what it's going to... Everybody in this room knows it's going to be. Dan O'Shea's wife and your wife know who it's going to be.
Who's it going to be, Tony?
Ohio State, obviously.
Who's winning the Big Ten?
We'll see.
Who do you think?
I think.
Who do you think is going to win the Big Ten?
Not Ohio State.
Not Ohio State?
No.
Nope. So Penn State, Michigan State, Northwestern. Who do you think it might be?
Well, seeing as Scott McSorley, hopefully Penn State.
Okay. Dan O'Shea, who do you think is going to win the Big Ten?
Michigan.
Get the fuck out of here. You're a dick.
Yeah, that was just to mess with you guys. I'll go Tony on this one. Let's go for Ohio State. Why not?
I will say that there is the possibility. The one team that scares me,
Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's not Michigan. It's just still not Michigan.
Wisconsin's my pick to win it.
I would love to see it be Wisconsin. They're my dark horse.
I mean, they have so much talent and they're so overlooked. Again, why I picked their defense, because they don't play with anybody else.
That's a good point. Minnesota puts points up. They just don't have a defense
That's
themselves.
cute. It's cute. Not enough to win games.
All right, so
It's enough to sell them, I don't know, a couple more beers because people drop them in excitement, but it's not getting them anywhere.
Right. Michigan, what the fuck? Michigan 5-4 overall. I'm sorry, in conference, 8-5 overall. Indiana 2-7 in conference, 5-7 overall. Indiana took Michigan to overtime last year. We were at UAlbany watching it on my phone. Remember, BB?
Yeah.
And just Indiana refused to run the ball on the goal line. Maryland 2-7 in conference, 4-8 overall. One of those wins over Texas, called it. But they're in a bunch of hot shit right now. Rutgers 3-6 in conference, 4-8 overall. So there's, let's see, how many decent teams? Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so each division of the Big Ten had 4 teams with winning records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, lost one bowl game last year?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how is it always constantly overlooked that the SEC is just better? Why? Because they have Alabama?
Because their defense gives them a lot of credibility. They have Alabama, who's won 5 of them.
Right, but at the top tier that you're talking about in the Big Ten, there are strong defenses.
Oh, there are. Penn State has a decent defense.
When you were
Ohio
looking
State
at
has
the
a
best
good defense.
defenses that were on there, 4 of the
Michigan.
top 6 were Big Ten teams.
Yeah. Michigan has the number 3 defense.
I just don't. For me, I have a hard time understanding where this bias comes from. I have a very hard time understanding it because the facts, the reality and the perception are not matching up.
Because if Alabama were to switch to the ACC would be the best conference in football. If they came to the Big Ten would be the best. If they went
bullshit.
If they went to the fucking Sun Belt, the Sun Belt would be catapulted.
No, that's roll bullshit.
It is, but that's the truth. That's what they're ranking this on. That and the fact that Auburn had a national championship recently-ish, and Georgia has a fucking insane defense. That's why it's entirely biased. I
cannot
factual.
wait for the day that Saban gets investigated. Can't wait. Can't wait for it. It's gonna happen.
I don't have a problem with Saban. I honestly don't.
I don't like him or his smug attitude.
Well, didn't I thought I heard an anonymous report recently that he was cheating or something?
Yeah, everyone's going to report that you're cheating when you get the best players every fucking year.
I mean, it's not. Let's remember, this is a guy who's on the Bill Belichick tree, so it's not out of the realms of possibilities. They have that page in their playbook.
That's true.
It's been proven time and again.
Now, did they say that he cheated, or that he's a cheat code? Because both. Or
did they imply he was cheating on his wife to try and throw him off?
It could be that.
I have questions.
Yeah.
But that being said, he is my Bill Belichick in college football. I can't stand him. You can't seem to stop him. And there's very little that's redeeming or likable about the man.
Well, there's one thing I friggin' love about Nick Saban.
Oh, you go on.
He doesn't take shit from the media. He gives it right back. The media will say something, he'll be like, now, do you realize you just asked the dumbest question of the day?
No, I'm all for that because sometimes the media is inherently stupid.
You guys lost. How does that feel?
Like losing. Next.
Have you been shot in the stomach? That's how it feels, dick.
So you have no frame of reference, do you, Donnie?
You're out of your element.
Were you listening to the dude's story, Donnie?
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Mark it a 0.
This is not Nom. This is bowling. There are rules. Oh, man. Fun
That
little...
still equates because it was a sports reference.
Yeah. Fun little fact. When we used to do trivia back in the day, we used the team name The Dude Abides every week.
Good name.
Yeah.
Good name.
Be-
I have a lot of trivia names, none of which I should say.
I mean, we're...
We're explicit, but that
Yeah.
doesn't change that they probably shouldn't be said.
I think my favorite trivia team name was Helen Keller's favorite color.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's probably still my favorite. But anyways, I digress. The Big Ten is the shit. They only had 33 players drafted. Oh, here comes the badass Becky Lynch. Oh, look at this. Oh, she turned heel at SummerSlam, and now she looks like she got a tood.
There
Never
were
liked
players
her.
drafted.
33 of them, to be exact. There were 5 that really, I think, were worth mentioning. Offensive line, no one cares that offensive linemen get drafted. Trace,
No, but I mean, in fairness, most of the NFL is made up of like SEC and Big Ten offensive linemen, and that's like it.
look at it. She got like the Donald Trump look on her face. Oh, my God. Anyways, Saquon Barkley, drafted by the Giants, running back from Penn State. No Ohio State players were drafted because they're trash. Just kidding. Denzel
I
Ward.
was gonna say that's definitely not true on both accounts.
Denzel Ward was drafted, maybe a little too high to a team that probably didn't need him, but whatever.
Whatever, they took him because he was there.
DJ Moore, drafted wide receiver out of Maryland. He's in some hot shit, driving 103 miles an hour.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Furthermore, well, I guess rookie. Okay, I can understand. I'm sorry, I don't understand how somebody who's in the. You know what? It's going to happen during this season, so I'm going to save it for a different rant. Because that I can definitely unload on. Fucking morons.
I added a second Penn State player just because he's been making waves. Mike Gesicki, tight end out of Penn State. Have you seen his insane one-handed catches?
No.
No, you haven't. But Odell Beckham does them, and bam, he's a star.
That,
Odell Beckham actually also did it at least once in an actual game, not preseason. And then Iowa cornerback Josh Jackson. Those are the most notable, in my opinion, of the players drafted.
Josh Jackson was a very good player, so I agree with that.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He almost single-handedly beat Penn State. So,
Yeah, well, and then Penn State was like, we're going to stop going over there.
yeah.
Like, wherever he is, throw it anywhere else.
Yep.
Literally anywhere else.
Literally anywhere else.
I don't care if there's a guy open in the first row. Hit him.
Exactly.
As long as he's not near Josh Jackson. Because he'll intercept that in the stands.
Yeah. And return it for 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, somehow.
Big Ten players to watch. And I feel like this is as objective as I could possibly have gotten when talking about the Big Ten players to watch. Now that there's no Saquon Barkley, Trace McSorley has to be the most seasoned and looked at as the best quarterback in the Big Ten, simply based on what he has done already. No other quarterback in the Big Ten has done literally anything outside of Alex Hornibrook. And Alex Hornibrook is down here. Trace McSorley's up here. Is that
Well,
saying
I
at the
mean-
end of the season that's how it's going to be? No, because you still have Brad Lewerke out of Michigan State, who could be absolutely phenomenal. You got Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State, which, to be honest, I know that he got a little bit of repetition last season. We don't know what he's going to be when the team is his. His ceiling is certainly high.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that are they're at least reporting that he's the one to watch out as a breakout guy that you're not going to see coming. I mean, for years, Ohio State fans are even worried because we've had JT Barrett for the last 4 years, but everything that is coming out about him is they're saying breakout star